Hello everyone and welcome. I am Miss Amy. I'm a library assistant with the City of Riverside's Public Library. I work at the Arlington branch, and this is my summer reading craft corner. Today we're going to be learning how to make our own paint. These activities, it's actually going to be two activities, were inspired by these two books here. The first one here is Dancing Through Fields of Color. It's the story of Helen Frankenhaler, who was a famous artist. It is written by Elizabeth Brown and illustrated by Amy Socorro. So in this book, this little girl just loves everything and painting, and everything in her world is brightened by colors. So thought it was great for a way to color your world through reading. So our first activity is going to be related to this story here, and then our second activity will be focusing on this book, and this is called The Festival of Colors, and it is by Kabir and Sarissa Segal, and it was illustrated by Vashanti Harrison. This is a book about the Indian holiday of Holi, where you celebrate with colors. And so in this book, two little children make colors out of petals, and they make them into very fine powder with using flowers. And so it kind of today ties in because we're going to be making our own paint. And during the festival, everybody wears white, and they throw color all over themselves and at each other, and it's all really great fun. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this holiday, you can check out this book and many others on it at one of your local libraries. Okay, so let's get started. With our first craft. Both of these crafts are going to use our homemade paint. So in order to do that, we're going to need chalk, a cheese grater, and something to hold our paint. Now, this activity is a little messy, so make sure you get permission from an adult before you try and do it at home. So first, I'm just going to open up my chalk, and there we go. And then I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to start with pink. And so basically, I'm just going to put my cheese grater over my plate or my whatever holder you can get, and very gently and carefully I'm going to go across, and I'm just going to do this so you can see, kind of hold it up, just go down, and it'll make a nice little fine powder. Now when you do this at home, make sure you get some help, because sometimes on a grater it could be a little sharp and you don't want to cut yourself, and so make sure you ask for some help. And so you're just gonna keep doing that until you get enough color in there. Okay, and then next I'm going to pick another color. I'm gonna go with green, and I'm gonna put this aside, and I'm gonna get another color, and so we're going to do just the same thing. So now, after you have all of your colors ready and set to go, I'm gonna put my chalk aside and my grater aside, and I have pink, green, yellow, and blue. And so I'm going to grab a sturdy sheet of paper. This is cardstock. You want it to be a little bit thicker than regular printer paper. And I'm going to get a paintbrush and a little cup with water. And so what I'm gonna do is just wet my paintbrush and dip it in my chalk, and it's gonna get nice and watery. I'm gonna pat it down, and then I'm just gonna draw. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of a sun. It's a little bit light. And next I'm gonna do some sun rays on there. Okay, and then with my blue, same thing, just some water. You can also dip your chalk, put a little bit of water in with your chalk, and that'll make it easier. But since we need this for our second activity, I'm just gonna dip my paintbrush. And a little bit of sky. See how cool that is? So sometimes if you want to do something crafty but you don't have any paint, but you have chalk, easy. Some chalk and some water. And maybe some green for some grass down here. Oh. And you don't have to paint a picture. You can actually just paint colors and see where that takes you. There's a little bit on my table here that I'm going to use. So, and we're just going to keep going with this. Cool. So obviously this is nowhere near finished, but for time's sake, I'm gonna flip it over and show you. I did earlier, I wrote my name. So now I'm gonna take some pink and going to make some swirlies. They're a little bit light, you can't really see them, but when you're doing this on your own up close, you'll be able to see it. Just make sure you use a lot of color. Let's see if I can get this a little brighter. This pink might be just a little too soft, and that's okay. We can combine it with something else. Yeah, so you can create a beautiful masterpiece using your chalk and a little bit of water. And make sure that if you do create something, you tag us, hashtag Riv Library, and you make sure to share that with us because I would love to see all of your cool designs. Okay, so we're gonna do the next activity now. So I'm gonna put away my water, and I'm gonna grab another sheet of paper. And so for this one, I printed out a person, just like that. You don't have to print one, you can just draw one. But I've got my little person template, and I'm gonna lay him on my piece of paper. And next, I'm going to take a pencil and kind of just do an outline of my person. Next, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it out. So now I have my person. He's not perfectly cut, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay him down, and I'm going to move these books over a little bit just because I don't want them to get dirty or wet. So I'm going to lay him down, and then using a spray bottle, or if you don't have one, you can also use a cup and your fingers, and we're just going to kind of spray him with a little bit of water. You can lay him down like I said, and if you do this on a table indoors, just make sure you have a cover so that the table doesn't get dirty, but this is a great outdoor activity. And so we're just gonna spray him just like that. just lightly. He's a little bit wet, but that's okay. And next we're going to take our colors, going to give him a little bit of poof. And get some blue, give him some poof there, some yellow, very fun, and some pink, lots of pink. This is also another way that you can color on your big paper. Now I'm going to give him another little bit of spray just to make sure that the color sticks. And let's see. Voila! There he goes. There is my little holy person. And he might curl a little bit because he's wet in its paper, which is why we're just going to leave him lying down. And that's it for our crafts.